Welcome back on Diamond. Today I want to propose you a video about the unbox review about the White Dwarf 500, really a milestone released by the Cashew for May 2024. This is something quite emotional if you think about, because honestly I've seen a White Dwarf since 1987, that it was the oldest technically physical one that I've seen, and there's been quite a lot of change. I'm thinking also about creating a video about the changes of the White Dwarf along the time. I have my oldest White Dwarf that it's from April 21, that it's an Italian one, so it has a different denomination about, but we can see quite a lot of difference. And about the White Dwarf, I also another interesting thing that it's the Apocrypha, so a collector of the oldest White Dwarf about, so I'm really thinking about creating a video that involve also these ones, so to make see how it's changes a lot along the times and so on, because there are quite a lot of things related, so quite nice. And really now I'm going to have quite a lot of fun reading about this. The only thing that I don't like about this, and it's a bit of ranting about, it's this card that it's with, because I had quite a lot of troubles to find one that it was not damaged, and really you can see that it has quite a delicate part about, so it will be a problematic to open. So I'll open this and take off the things out of camera, because otherwise it will be quite crazy. And really, sincerely, you released something like this in the past, that it was with such cover. Why not use this, that it's much better? Why you have, okay, I always do this, but they are really quite really ruinable, these things, and I think that it's a way to collect also these ones, because I like to keep also this part. In a way, we see that there are quite a lot of things inside, because there's been a collectible munching card inside, those card for the White Dwarf that has been released, a new miniature with this White Dwarf, and it's nice. I don't think that I'll buy it, because I'm not quite interested, even if I have some of the old White Dwarf. This it's with the rules for play in Age of Sigmar, but remember that soon there will be the release of the new edition of Age of Sigmar, so it will not last quite long. They have about City new rules that are always welcome. I love such thing. Underworld, Warcry, and a double-sided White Dwarf that has all the covers of the White Dwarf, and I'm really quite intrigued, because I even myself don't know all the covers. I've seen quite a lot of them, but I don't think to have seen all them, even if I've seen really some parts of the covers along the time and so on. It's really quite nice to see all the 500 together, so it's really quite nice. So now we can open this and see the contents, because there are also quite a lot more pages inside, so nice. And before analyzing the White Dwarf itself, let me make another rant. Why do you use that paper card when you put the insert inside? Take off of them, you ruin the White Dwarf itself using this. Okay, now I take off the contents and we see the White Dwarf. So now we can see about the insert inside. So we have here the card about Munchkin, that it's quite nice. Here we have this, that it's a discount for the merchandising, and there is a code that obviously I covered because I want to use it. Here we have the poster that it's double side. So we have one side that it's the, if I'm able to open this, okay, a second. Anyway, here we have the White Dwarf, that you can see that it's here, and it's the same that you can see here, so it's the cover. And the other side there is the 500 ones that are the White Dwarf, the various cover of the White Dwarf. About here, anyway, I make you see also something related about this passage, but we see when we go to see inside here, because there is something, and I make some intriguing part, but remember about this because it's really quite intriguing. Then there is this, that it's the usual insert that it's with double side. So one side there is a mission for warhammer 40k, the other side there is this, that it's about Age of Sigmar, so it's really quite welcome. And here we have the schedules about the White Dwarf, because remember that there is the new miniature, so we can have this to play with Age of Sigmar, this for City, and here we can find also something related about Warcry, as you can see, and here Underworld. so it's really quite intriguing in this way. So here we have also the way to play with the divine intervention from underworld. So it's really quite intriguing in this way because there are quite a lot of things. So now we can go to see about the White Dwarf and see the contents and talk a bit also about what I said about the White Dwarf, because there is quite a lot of intriguing things and I make you see about them. So here you can see the alternative cover about the White Dwarf, that it's the same that we've seen here, and it's the same that we've seen being part of the poster, so it's really quite nice. Remember that to have the alternative cover here, you have to make the subscription to the White Dwarf, so pay attention about this, but you can save also money. Here we can see the article to introduce, and here we can see the White Dwarf, the new miniature related about the 500 White Dwarf, so it's something that if you're interested, I suggest you to try to buy if you are able to find. And here we can see the contents inside that are quite a lot. Here the things about the insets that we've yet seen, so it's really quite intriguing. Then we can see here about the mailing list of the readers of the White Dwarf to the team of the White Dwarf, and as usual I suggest you to give a site about this because you can find quite a lot about painting, about modifying or so on that could be really quite intriguing. And it's always a way to make some ideas, because for example you can create some dioramas or so on. It's always nice to see, really quite intriguing. Here we have this that it's made from an Italian guy that I know, so it's really quite happy for him to have this published on the White Dwarf. It's something that it's proud about, so I'm glad for him. Then we have this that it's about the bunker, as usually. It's a way to suggest about how to start to play and so on, invite you to play. And then we have here the Crusade campaign that it's brought up by the bunker, so you can see some ideas, I think. So you can see about changing miniatures, so on, dioramas, idea how to play with. It's always nice because you can see different armies, different type of colors, the background or so on. That could be a way that you can create something, so I always suggest you to prepare about. Here we have this that it's about the things that we see in the schedules, that it's for Warhammer 40k the mission, and here for Age of Sigmar, even if this we are yet seeing this because it's from an old mission renewed, so it's always nice. Here we have about the divine intervention, so it's quite nice. It's about underworld, so it's a way to play. Here the basic training, and this is related about Warhammer 40k, so it can be quite intriguing because you can study how you can play and so on. There can be silly or simple ones, but it's always nice to watch. And here we can see about the painting, so it's a way to find about the brush, that usually it's a technique that it's quite undervaluated, but I quite low as it is, so I think that it's quite nice, and it can be really quite an option to understand how you can also speed up some painting. Here it is about this, that it's the club. Here in this case it's related about Dallas, and it's quite nice because you can see, for example, this basin that it's quite amazing and so on. So as suggestion, you can really have quite a lot of fun. So also here this model could be quite intriguing. You have quite a lot of options to see about, and I always suggest you to give a sight about. Also here we can see other things, so you can see quite a lot of ideas that can be nice suggestion. Here we can start with Warhammer 40k with the Tonekeeper, that I want to remember you has been a chapter created by the team of the White Dwarf for the White Dwarf, but still has spread out quite a lot. So you can see about this that it's background related about the Necron, and it's quite intriguing to improve the background. It's a nice way, and there are quite a lot of information to read. There is also this novel about, so against the Datus Mechanicus, so it's really quite intriguing. Here we can see this, that it's about the board in action, that it's a new mission and so on to play. It can be quite interesting. I don't like to play with, but it's full of things that could be really quite intriguing, and so I suggest you to give a sight. Here it's about the Tonekeeper realized by different authors, and you can see so the scheme of colors for the chapter and so on, realized with the different models, changes and so on. It can be really quite intriguing because you can see how different authors realize the same army and it's always nice to see how everyone interpreted them, how they can modify, how they can paint them, and so on, give an idea about. Here we have also a battle report that it's more complete that you can think, because there is also the part about how it's done for the different mission and so on, so the environment literally, and so you can see quite intriguing. Also with something related about add the board in action and so on, kill team to play with different schemes. And so we had the League of Wotan and the Tonekeeper against the Stealer Cult and the Tyrants. It's obvious, this one. And it's really quite nice to see. And remember that you can see also, for example, the modifiers of the basing that could be quite intriguing. And so you can have quite a lot of fun reading. I quite like such way to put these features, because you can see the models that are with the theme like the coloring, so like a sort of mango on, so with the lights and some additional part about the text and so on that can change completely how you can make the photos and so on, because it's really quite awesome in this way, so it's really nice. Do you see such a shiny feature that it's in like an egg, but 391? I made something similar, and if you're interested about, I leave the link in the description so you can understand how you can recreate such things. It could be nice. We see also something about an article related about such images, so it's really something to improve and change the way that you can play, so that you can play, make photos, and retouch them to have them even more intriguing to publish and so on, because you can work in a different way. So paint on the miniatures and then paint on digital and so on, creating from the images something completely new, the atmosphere and so on. I think that it's really quite intriguing in that way. So about the background, it's nice, but about the battle report itself, I will suggest you to read about these ones, because it could be, in the case that you play, to read something that could be useful. Know a new army, or if you don't play the game, that it's explained in these battle reports, it could be a way to understand and know better about it. So I think that it's really quite intriguing in that way, so really quite nice. Here we have something more related about the what happened in this linked, because you have seen that has been brought multiple battles related about, so we can see how it's gone and how they related all the different missions from the different games. It's a really way to create a sort of campaign, also little campaign. And this, how I told you about modifying the photos, so you can take the photos and so on, and think about this. It's the mission that we've seen before then, so that we've seen about here the battle report, and in this case we have seen so that we can create something completely new. And really it's really quite if I find out the page, was okay, it's one time that I needed and I don't find it again. Okay, second, I'm able to find out. No, okay, let's do step by step and we'll see if I found out. Okay, here you can see here, so you can see how has been changed to create such thing, so it's really quite intriguing in that way. And then we had this. About this we have something to say that it's really quite intriguing. So a second and we start, because here we can see the timeline about the various White Dwarf that has been brought. So it's really quite intriguing to see how it has been developed and so on. And there are quite a lot of things that I haven't seen, because there are some that I never been able to have a sight about. But really, you can find quite a lot of interesting things. But there is one particular thing that you have to pay attention about, because have the most part of this, but we can see there is something strange, and it's about this. You can remember that it's issue 404, and you can see that this it's the issue 404, and this it is so August 2023. So remember 404, okay, then have 405, 406, 407, 408, and 409. 9. Why do I make you see this? Because I want to remember something that I made you think about this. And you can see that if you think about, we have, remember, 404. If we change and we flip here, there is this one that it's 410, and it's this one. But this one, that it's, remember, 409, it's from January 2014. This one, so we can see that here we had January 2014 and here September 2016. There is more than a year. And if you go to see something intriguing, it's something that I made you see also before, that it's a little about what we can see in the White Dwarf. And it's about this part, so that you can see the count of the White Dwarf start from this. Remember about this one, it's this one, and this one that it's this one. As you can see, it's those two. So it means that it's missing something. And what are they missing? They're missing what we are seeing here, that is the weekly ones, but not completely it's everything about this, because there were, yes, the weekly ones. We can see I have more than these ones, but as you can see, it's the February 2022, here it's the 1st March, here it's the 15th March, and so on. I only bought the ones that I was interested about. But they are not only these, because they were released also what are called the Warhammer Vision. That was the statue of the Warhammer monthly ones, the White Dwarfs. So you can see I bought only this because it was the one that I was interested about, because there were practically only spots about, and it was something that I was quite intrigued, and it was about Horus Heresy that I loved. So as you can see, there are a lot of missing. So technically, this same White Dwarf will not be the 500, even if it's called the 500. So at least the monthly are changed, because they are not even more called out, and they are only the weekly that doesn't count as White Dwarf themselves, even if I want to remember you, it's written White Dwarf. Okay, so it's really quite to understand. It's really the 500 in this one, or it's sort of forgetful about some of the publishing about the White Dwarf themselves. It's quite intriguing. What do you think? What do you think about, really? Because I'm quite curious about knowing if this disgrace that has been this one, because remember that has been published together the monthly and 4 weekly ones each month, and it was quite crazy. Simply, it was too much expenditure, and even myself, that from the 2002 I have all the White Dwarfs, because I bought all of them. Remember about such one. Okay, I'll not call that the White Dwarf Italian one and the White Dwarf the English version were different and so on for the most part of their life. Not mind about them. But what is important, it's that it's missing quite a lot of things. So it's anyway quite intriguing, at least I think, about such options. Anyway, this, remember, it's really something intriguing, but it was an additional part that I wanted to make you notice, because I think that it was really quite intriguing. And this doesn't take off the meaning of such article and the amazing part to have reached the 500, because even forgetting about those White Dwarf, still there are 500 at this number, so not bad at all, really. And the most part of them, even if I'd like to have the ones quite older, but it's nice. And then you can find this about some options, so it's really quite intriguing to see the option about the covers on how they can create the covers for the White Dwarf and so on. It's really quite intriguing, and it's a way to understand how it's done and so on. I think that it's always amazing, because it's a way to understand how the works go on. It's and moreover, you can see everything related about the miniatures and so on. You can also hear suggestions about how you can convert and so on, create dioramas. I think that it's always amazing one, and really I quite like. because they can teach you quite a lot about how you can make photographs and so on. Then we go to Age of Sigmar, and I like quite a lot these first layers and Caradon against the Oryx. It's really quite intriguing. Then we had the Legend of the White Dwarf, that it's an article related, and I think that it's really quite interesting because it had a lot of background and so on, and you can understand better how the White Dwarf arrived in Age of Sigmar, and so it's really quite intriguing. Here the rules for the Age of Sigmar part of the White Dwarf, the Gombrindal part, and really remember that it will last only till the new edition, but anyway it's quite nice, and the model it's amazing. I like. Sincerely, I didn't want to buy, but it's a good model anyway, so think about if you're interested about to find it. Then we can find it's about brand related. Then we can find about Underworld with the option about playing it, so it's quite nice, and really it's something that could be useful. And really nice thing also here about the Warcry. Here we have related about here Coastal City, so we can find quite a lot of things that could be useful. And then we had this that it's the site of the different White Dwarfs, and some of them, for example, have this one, so it's really quite intriguing. Have a couple of them, but this was not interesting. I don't have all of them. And here we can find how to paint. That can be quite nice, so it could be quite intriguing. And here we have this that it's about the Dawnbringer Crusade, that it's an article related, and still waiting you releasing the new and last of the Dawnbringer Crusade books, the 6th one. I hope that it will be released before the 6th edition. Anyway, this could be really quite intriguing because here it's related quite a lot about the last one. So remember about this, and remember that I made the analysis about the books, the background and so on, so you can find about it in the description or in the playlist related, so it can be quite intriguing. And then we can move on, and we can find here that continue, and here, yes, it's the same that we've seen here, as you see, it's this one. So it's quite intriguing. I quite like this type. Then we had the Tale of War Warlord, and it can be quite intriguing. This it's really about Age of Sigmar. I quite like because there is the Reapers. And as usual, I suggest you to see such things because it can give you quite a lot of ideas. Think about this model that has been modified and so on. Nice. Also see here quite a lot of modifying, change, personalization. So there are quite a lot of things that could be seen and thought about, and I think that it's really quite intriguing. Also here the scheme of color could be interesting, I think, so quite nice. Here we have this that it's with the Sons of Behemoth. Here we have this that it's the Court of Divine, and I quite like this. It's about the Undead. Here we have the Supergable, and here the Reapers. I quite like, sincerely. There are quite a lot of various conversions, some of them we have seen, some are new, and really something that I like quite a lot because I like such theme and so on, and I think that you can gain quite a lot of inspiration about. Here we have about, in this case, the Goblin and the Oryx, so it can be interesting. And here we have about what is the Black Library, so we have an article related, and it could be really quite intriguing because you can know better about an author, about an army, a new type, because maybe you are more interested about Warhammer 40k and so on. You can see about Age of Sigmar or vice versa and so on. So there are really quite a lot of things that could be quite useful to read and perfect your English also. Know something better about the background, so quite a lot. Here are the inside the studio, that it's always intriguing to see what will happen next. And next we had that war concludes, so I'm quite intrigued to see what will happen. And we can see about what we'll find in the next White Dwarf. And it would be related about Age of Sigmar, so we had the Caradon, the White Dwarf, new one, so I'm quite intrigued to see what will happen, because it can be really quite intriguing. So what to say about such White Dwarf? I think that it's really quite amazing. Okay, the poster, it's amazing. The story, the background, the images, the ideas, it's perfect in my opinion. Also the battle report, that it's about linking different ways to play, to create a new scheme. I think that it's really quite nice, so I think that it's really quite awesome. So I suggest you to think about having a site about this. So this, I can say that it's a must-have? No, but surely it's really quite amazing. Even if only to know that you have the 500 one, it's something worth. So even if I criticize some things, it's nice. Remember that it's in a way it's a spot about the construction, but it's a great spot because it's a way to see the history of the construction itself through the White Dwarf, and you can have quite a lot of inspiration about, and this is the main thing why I suggest you such White Dwarf. At least for now, only for the White Dwarf. I decided to put in description the link about my wish list for Amazon if you are interested about making me a gift about. I know it's the first time that I do, so I hope that it works. Anyway, it's something that it's a try. Don't feel that you have to do or so on. It's simply something that if you want to cooperate with me to give me some things that maybe I use then as a review or so on, it could be useful, or that can be useful also for the channel. So eventually you have a thing that you can share with. So from that mode, it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.